After getting drunk, I tightly hugged my archenemy in my arms. She took out an heirloom ring and put it on my index finger. Now you are mine. The entire hall felt suffocated at that moment. The eldest miss of the Chi family grabbed my waving hand. You put it on the wrong finger, hubby. All the guests in the hall instantly exploded, simply because Chi Qinglu and I were a pair of rivals that everyone knew. Everyone knew I hated Chi Qinglu, hated her, Guts hated her, to the bone. But no one knew that I had been reincarnated. In my past life, during a huge fire, both my appearance and voice were destroyed. Everyone abandoned and felt disgusted by me, but she held me and kept saying, "And Chen, don't be afraid, I'm here." Only then did I realize that the person I hated the most was actually the person who loved me the most in this world. At the moment close to death, she hugged me tightly, her cold lips close to my ear, gently and hoarsely begging, "On Chen, love me, okay?" Loving me tore my heart and lungs, telling her I loved her. But the words I said, she could never hear them again. On the day of reincarnation, it happened to be on the red carpet of the awards ceremony. The woman with a peerless beauty leaned nonchalantly against the front of the car, glancing back. The whole world seemed to have only that figure left. I risked everything to cross the red carpet and rush toward her, just to take the words, "I love you," that she didn't get to hear, and say it to her one more time. "I love you." The entire hall fell into astonishment, including the audience in front of the live stream screen, because everyone recognized the woman being tightly hugged by me was Chi Qinglu, the eldest miss of the Chi family in the capital. That was a person so noble that she was out of reach, making everyone, even knowing the danger, willingly sink and indulge for her. At that moment, the scene, which was originally noisy, suddenly became dead silent. Only the flashlights kept blinking continuously. Contrary to the silence at the scene, the live comment section became extremely rowdy. "What the hell is Shi Chen doing? How dares he kiss my boss Chi?" 52. Has he really gone crazy wanting to get famous? Is he seriously that desperate to go viral? First he beat up Shi Yabai before the live stream. Then he forced a kiss on the eldest miss of the Chi family. 56 vertical bar. Does he think he has the MC plot armor? Does he think he's got web novel main character powers or something? Thinking that doing this can make him famous, this eldest miss of the Chi family is famous for staying away from men. Even Shi Yabai wasn't even placed in her eyes. Who does he think he is? Is he looking for a death wish? I heard that he and this eldest miss have had a bad relationship since childhood. Heh, there's a good drama to watch now. I don't give a damn. Kissing my wife. Why doesn't he go die? Rest assured the eldest miss won't let him off. Don't just say these viewers. Even my best friend and manager Song, Yi almost had his eyeballs pop out. He is considered someone who quite understands the relationship between me and Chi Qinglu. The two of us can be considered childhood friends, but ironically, 74. It wasn't a childhood friendship with a good relationship. They aren't exactly childhood friends who get along well. On the contrary, the relationship was so bad that it made people furious. It was the type where wherever Chi Qinglu appeared, I would need an air purifier to disinfect. Because since childhood I liked Zia Momo, but Zia Momo hated Chi Qinglu, who was always surrounded by everyone like the moon and stars. 83. So I also hated her by extension, which is why I hate him too. Since childhood I also hated Chi Qinglu. At that moment Song, Yi also had the exact same thought as the netizens. 88. And Chen has gone crazy wanting to get famous. Not too far away from there. Not far away. Shi Yabai was still holding his face, his pupils contracting slightly. But deep in his eyes, a sarcastic smile emerged. "Shi Chen, how you even dare to provoke Chi Qinglu? 95. You truly aren't afraid of that crazy woman. That crazy Chi Qinglu is totally going to crush him to death. Chi Qinglu crushing you to death." The bodyguards beside Chi Qinglu looked at each other. In fact, when I rushed over, they originally intended to stop me, but their third miss used her eyes to stop them. "Young master, has the Shi family changed their tactics this time? Are they preparing a new trick to harm their third miss? Or is there poison hidden in the Shi family's young master's mouth, planning to use a kiss to poison their third miss?" However, the astonishment of everyone else was nothing compared to that of Chi Qinglu herself. When Shi Chen rushed toward me, I thought he wanted to humiliate me. On the contrary, I really wanted to see what kind of trick this young master who was kicked out of his house wanted to play. Before Chi Qinglu could speak sarcastically, she saw me lower my eyes, and my thin lips accurately touched hers. At that moment, Chi Qinglu's mind went buzzing and blank. She froze up, thinking did Shi Chen intend to bite my neck, but accidentally bit my mouth instead. Should I say something? To remind Shi Chen that he bit the wrong place. Sighing, voice so ethereal, as if just a gentle breeze blowing past would make it vanish. Chi Qinglu's heart instantly tightened, but her fingers pressed against my shoulders to push me away. Her action made the viewers in the live stream room get super excited. "Look quick, the face slap is coming." Qinglu raised her eyes to look at me. On my face it was filled with the complex expression of losing something and finding it again. Qinglu's heart clenched violently, just when everyone was waiting for her to land a brutal slap on my face. Qinglu instead caressed my cheek. What's wrong, Shichen? Did something happen? This eldest miss who stays away from men, shouldn't she at this time slap him down and blast away the man who is taking advantage of her? Everyone looked at each other, the flashlights flickering continuously without stopping. The comments in the live stream room were jumping as fast as lightning. The number of viewers on the live stream kept skyrocketing until the network crashed. The network crashed. Platform staff fixed it quickly. If I don't see the scene of the eldest miss beating him up, I won't be able to sleep tonight. At that moment, in my eyes, the whole world seemed to be abandoning me and leaving. My world had only her. My voice choked up and grew hoarse. I miss you. My hands were still wrapped around her waist, the strength of my arms constantly tightening, as if terrified that she would disappear. I really miss you so much. Qinglu secretly thought. Shichen is calling for Qinglu. Could he be calling someone else's name by mistake? Qinglu fell into silence for a moment, suddenly raising her eyes to look around. The other people who were gossiping and minding others' business suddenly turned away in a hurry. Some looked at the sky, others looked at the ground. Qinglu knew this wasn't a suitable place to talk. She frowned and grabbed my arm, wanting me to let go of her waist. Who would have thought her action would make me even more frantic? Flustered and panicked, I hurriedly hugged her tighter. Don't go, don't leave me, okay? In the future, I will be really good and listen to you. On Qinglu's delicate and pretty little face, it was filled with helplessness. I don't intend to leave you. Let's go get in the car. I didn't believe her, stubbornly hugging her tightly, holding on to her. I'm afraid if I let go, you'll disappear. All of this is like a dream, becoming a beautiful dream that I don't dare to let go of. Then what should I do to make you let go of me? Kiss me once, Qinglu, kiss me, so I know you are real, okay? I had just touched her lips, and still hadn't felt the reality of it, before being pushed away by her. I really wanted to kiss her, wanted to feel the warmth on her lips, not wanting it to be like when she pressed against my ear so coldly, begging me to love her like that. Qinglu's red lips pursed slightly. This mouth of Shichen, in the past, only knew how to drive her mad with anger. Today, who knows what kind of shock he got to suddenly be so smooth-tongued and coax her like this. He probably wants to trick her into leaving behind some dark history, or maybe doing something right in front of the whole internet's audience, so that later she can ruthlessly mock me, using it as evidence that she was seduced by a beautiful face. The red lips of Qinglu curled up slightly. Too bad for him. Qinglu, I'm least afraid of the honey trap since childhood. Thinking of this, Qinglu chuckled, her slender fingers touching my cheek. The live stream platform. Right at the moment, Qinglu raised her head, instantly recovered back to normal. In the camera lens, at the very end of the red carpet, the beautiful, exquisite woman and the handsome, refined man. This scene was beautiful, just like the embrace of the prince and princess in a fairy tale. The anxious netizens hadn't even had time to see clearly before they started sending comments like crazy. Holy crap, they really kissed, oh my god. Kissed, they used their lips to kiss hard once. The hype completely exploded. One part of the people thought it was because I had caught some weakness of the Qi family's eldest miss to threaten her. Another part thought I had seduced her. Some even believed I used some love spell to bewitch Qinglu. In short, no one believed Qinglu genuinely wanted to kiss me. In the eyes of the netizens, Qinglu and I would forever be two parallel lines that never cross. One in heaven, one on earth. Someone dropped a vicious comment. Just wait and see when the eldest miss wakes up. Shichen will definitely die a tragic death. If he doesn't die, I'll walk on my hands for you guys to see. While the internet was in a chaotic uproar in the spacious back seat of the Rolls-Royce, I was sitting next to Qinglu, looking at her with yearning eyes. Qinglu sat there lazily, 245, her slender fingers holding her phone. Slender fingers holding the phone. After crossly hanging up who knows how many calls had come in just to gossip, she decisively turned off her phone altogether. Only then did she turn her head to look at me. When she spoke, her tone was leisurely yet cold. Speak up. Is it that you have amnesia? Or your memory is a mess so you mistook me for someone else? I didn't. I hurriedly shook my head, instantly trying to reach out to hug her. Qinglu lightly blinked, her eyelashes. No hugging, behave yourself and sit properly. I barely managed to coax him to let go of me. Now he wants to hug again. There's no audience watching anymore now. The small face of Qinglu showed a flash of displeasure. Every time we talk, you just want to hug me. What kind of habit is that? Before, when he was with Giacomo, was he also like this? My movement to reach out froze. My fingers, which had just touched her clothes, immediately withdrew. I looked at her full of anticipation. Chi Qinglu saw me looking so pitiful as if I had been abandoned by her. This isn't quite right. This archenemy is truly not right at all. Qi Qinglu pursed her lips, suppressing the doubt in her eyes. She asked, "You didn't mistake the person, right? Then do you know who I am?" I said clearly, "You are Chi Qinglu," then softly added my Qinglu. Qi Qinglu's heartbeat instantly skipped a beat. She suddenly placed the back of her hand on my forehead, thinking while speaking, "Have you run a fever until you're confused?" Her small hand was slightly cold, making me subconsciously remember that final moment, the coldness in her embrace. I clenched my fists and whispered, "I don't have a fever." Qi Qinglu withdrew her hand, crossing her arms over her chest, looking at me arrogantly. "Speak, what kind of trick have you thought up to torture me this time?" Qi Qinglu suddenly remembered something. "If I remember correctly, tomorrow the Shi family has a banquet. I heard that crazy woman Xia. Momo has already bought a ring. She probably intends to proactively propose to Shi Yabai, the Xia family. And the Shi family also intend to go through with the marriage alliance. I was kicked out of the Shi family a month ago because Shi Yabai was kidnapped and almost lost his life, and all evidence pointed at me. The parents of the Shi family were utterly disappointed in me, declaring to the outside world the severing of relations with me. The marriage contract between me and Momo 305 was also cancelled because of that." Qi Qinglu wiped the smile off her face. Qi Qinglu withdrew the smile on her face, her eyes looking at me with even more distance. "Shichen, you don't want to use me to piss off Xia. Momo, do you, before getting out of the car?" I saw Shichen beating up Shi Yabai. At that moment, I was a bit worried. This guy Shichen's temper has never been good anyway, but he had never done it in public, while disregarding everything like that. At that time, I thought Shichen did it because of Xia Momo 317, which was why he couldn't control himself. How could I give him another chance to cause trouble for me? I hurriedly got down from the car wanting to back him up. Who would have thought it would give him an opportunity to cause trouble for me? Thinking about those two light kisses, Qi Qinglu's eyes suddenly became cold. "Shichen for Shamomo. You really dare to sacrifice yourself quite a lot, huh? Should I be angry or just directly throw this idiot off the car right now?" I asked her in confusion. "Who is Xia Momo? I don't know her." Qi Qinglu remained silent for 2 seconds, reached out and lightly tapped the shoulder of Wenjing, who was driving. "Go to hospital number 10, the psychiatric hospital." Wenjing was silent for a moment. "Yes, third miss." Then, without a bit of hesitation, she instantly turned the steering wheel, driving straight toward hospital number 10. I frowned deeply. Oh no, Qi Qinglu probably really thinks I'm crazy now. Right now I have escaped from the days of reincarnation and completely sobered up, confirming and being certain that I have truly returned. But if pretending to have amnesia can make her believe me, then it's not like it's impossible. After all, I don't care about a single one of those people. I only care about my Qinglu. In this world, I only need to remember her, and only need to love her. That is enough. Qi Qinglu spoke softly beside my ear, "Giving you one last chance. Honestly confess, what exactly do you want to do? Otherwise, once you enter hospital number 10, don't you dare hope to come out." The light inside the car was dim. I turned my head to look at her cold eyebrows. Before my eyes was the image from before I was burned. I also used to think her gaze was so cold, like ice water in a cold pond that wouldn't melt for 1,000 years. Only later did I know. Beneath the cold pond water was a boiling lava. Your love is so intense that it makes even ice water boil up. I calmly faced her, whispering, "I don't plan to do anything. I just want to love you." The calm that Qi Qinglu tried to maintain instantly shattered. "Want to love me? How do you plan to love me?" Her red lips curled up slightly into a cold laugh. "Shichen, do you think I'm very stupid? Do I need to remind you? What you said when we met in the club lobby this morning, I was full of question marks. Why is there a flashback scene like this? This matter was also too long ago. Wait, let me recall. I tried hard to remember for a while before realizing. This morning in the club lobby, 373, I did indeed meet her. She stepped out of the elevator. The two of them brushed past each other. I stepped into the elevator, and the two of us brushed past each other. I said to Song Yi, "Beside me, we need to spray some air freshener perfume. This elevator is about to suffocate people to death." After saying that, I didn't forget to provoke her. So unlucky. Thinking up to here, my gaze wavered. Qi Qinglu chuckled. "Look at your guilty appearance. It seems you've remembered." In the next second, my eyes became clear as truth, just as if I didn't remember anything at all. "No, I really don't remember. What did I say to you back then? Did I say you look exceptionally beautiful? That I especially like you, and especially love you?" Qi Qinglu suddenly felt an itch in her hand. She reached out and pinched Shichen hard once. "Don't you play dumb and act foolish with me over there. I won't fall into your trap. Did you also pamper Xia Momo like this before? I rubbed my ear using a flirtatious tone to ask, "Then which type does Qinglu like?" Qinglu replied arrogantly, "I don't like any type." Before her words were finished, I lightly leaned close to her lips. Qinglu snapped awake. In those peach blossom eyes, there was a flash of teasing. "Is this still not enough?" I smoothly and gently wrapped my arms around her waist, my eyes full of anticipation, softly asking, "Then how about I let you kiss me back? Is that okay?" Wenjing, who was driving, perked up her ears to listen closely. "Of course it is, third. Miss, just kiss him straight up." "Your spring has finally arrived." Qinglu's eyes uncontrollably fell onto my lips. She lightly pursed her red lips. "Want me to kiss you back?" The word okay was already waiting at the tip of her tongue, but when she opened her mouth, it turned into 3 words through gritted teeth. "Keep dreaming." The starlight shining in my eyes shattered in an instant. I lowered my head, looking visibly upset. Qinglu suppressed her erratic heartbeat. "Can't let Chen fool me. Does he think doing this can seduce me?" She quietly backed away, separating herself a bit from me. Her voice carried a bit of an aftertaste that she herself didn't even notice. "Who taught you these things?" "Xiaomomo." "Chen, I'm not wrong, am I?" "I already told you I don't know Xiaomomo." "Why do you keep bringing her up? Who even is she?" "Besides, you were the one who taught me these things. It's not like Xiaomomo liked me anyway." Qinglu's patience was about to be completely eroded. By me. She said uncomfortably, "Chen, how long do you plan to keep pretending?" My mood sank. "I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart. I only love you. I only want to love you. Why don't you believe me? Why is Qinglu so hard to deal with right now? I thought that as long as I confessed to her, she would accept right away. Could it be that at this time she still doesn't love me yet?" Qinglu's playful eyes stared intently at me for a few seconds. "Don't know, Xiaomomo." I nodded. Qinglu curled her lips and said in a huff, "Only love me. Only want to love me." I nodded repeatedly again. Qinglu, who knows what she was thinking, suddenly let out a sly laugh. 450. "Fine, it's not like I don't believe you." "All right, it's not that I don't believe you, but you have to prove it to me first." "Prove it how?" I blinked my peach blossom eyes, smiling cheekily. "Qinglu, do you feel that just being intimate like this isn't enough? Want to be alone with me a bit longer?" When Jing, who was holding the steering wheel, almost lost her grip. "This young master of the Shi family is truly impressive. Will our simple third miss be able to handle this?" As expected, Qinglu's face was even redder than my earlobes. Fortunately, she still managed to maintain her composure, calling my name through gritted teeth. "Chen." I looked at her with innocent eyes. Qinglu suppressed the urge to throw me out, her fingertip lightly poking my forehead. "Get rid of those dirty thoughts in your head right now. Take them all back from me." Only then did I reluctantly close my mouth. Qinglu took a deep breath to calm herself down, then spoke up to order Wenjing to turn back to Shiyu Hotel. Shiyu Hotel belongs to the Qi family group, and was also the venue for today's awards ceremony. After the awards ceremony ended, inside the hotel there would be a celebration banquet. The reason why today Qinglu agreed to come to the award ceremony was because the Qi family was the organizer, of course. The most important reason was that she knew I would go. I originally, because I was afraid Chen would be bullied by others, came to Shiyu. It's truly a case of no good deed goes unpunished. That bastard doesn't deserve my kindness. Qinglu gritted her teeth, glancing at me. Wenjing respectfully turned the car around. I asked in confusion, "Why are we going back there?" Qinglu leaned back against the car seat, recovering her lazy posture from when she first got in the car, but her tone carried a bit of sarcasm. "Naturally, to give you a chance to show off, to prove how sincere your words about liking me really are." I frowned slightly. I still remembered, in my past life, it was right at the celebration banquet at Shiyu Hotel that I was set up by someone. When I woke up, I was right next to Qinglu. Everything was absurd, and at that time I completely broke down. My first reaction was to chase Qinglu away. At that time, she was still quite calm, saying that she would marry me. I coldly told her to leave. If I remember correctly, that drugged glass of wine was handed to me by Xiaomomo's own hands. I leaned into the dim light, looking toward Qinglu. She was closing her eyes, taking a nap, her small, exquisite face exceptionally attractive. Before I was influenced by Xiaomomo, and always felt Qinglu was fake and unapproachable. Only later did I understand that it wasn't that I didn't want to get close, but rather I was afraid to get close to her. Back to reality. The award ceremony was still ongoing. Those who didn't care to watch. The awards were all gathered in the banquet hall, where the celebration party was being held. Among them, there was no lack of wealthy young masters and young misses coming to join the fun. It's just that the atmosphere at this time was a bit unusual. Everyone was either intentionally or unintentionally looking towards Xiaomomo. After all, the simp, who had been chasing after her since childhood until now, had now run after her sworn enemy. Moreover, it was Qinglu, the one who always completely outclassed her in every aspect. So those playboy young masters, at this time, didn't dare to joke around, for fear of displeasing Zia Momo. Zia Momo was indeed feeling very uncomfortable. She leaned against the single sofa, crossly scrolling through her phone. The trending topic was the video of Qinglu. She watched it over and over a few times. The more she watched, the more it drove her crazy with anger. She threw the phone to the side and coldly said to the person next to her, "Tell them to take these trending topics down." The person next to her was her best friend, Tu Dian, who was also looking at the trending topics. Hearing her say that, Tu Dian was a bit surprised. "Take them down for what?" "Don't tell me you can't bear to see people flaming Shichen." Zia Momo glared at her. "What good does it do me to see him get flamed?" Tu Dian clicked her tongue. "It does no good for you, but it benefits Shi Yibai. Now the worse Shichen's reputation is, the better Shi Yibai's reputation will be. Since you like Shi Yibai so much, why do you still care about Shichen?" Hearing this, Zia Momo became even more annoyed. "Are you out of your mind?" Tu Dian froze for a moment. "When did I ever say I liked Shi Yibai?" Tu Dian looked completely bewildered. "Momo, what do you mean?" "Don't tell me the person you like is Shichen." Zia Momo said nothing, but saying nothing was the biggest issue. Tu Dian hurriedly lowered her voice and asked, "Momo, all these years, you've been so close to Shi Yibai like that, yet I've never seen you give Shichen any face. Just ask the girls around us and see. Who wouldn't think you like Shi Yibai? Everyone already considers Shi Yibai as your boyfriend. Now you're telling me you like Shichen?" She couldn't help but mock. "What kind of madness is possessing you?" I glanced at her. "What do you know?" She frowned. "Isn't it because Shichen's temper is too terrible I did that? Just to make Shichen understand. Don't think that just because he is the eldest young master of the Shi family, he can casually lose his temper in front of me." Momo took a sip of red wine. "He has to see his position clearly and learn how to please me. Not to mention now the Shi family has already kicked him out. In the end, he can only come looking for me. Humph. At that time, will he still dare to have an attitude with me? So I'm just teaching him a lesson." Tu Dian stood dazed out of pure shock. "So, all these years you were enthusiastic toward Shi Yibai, but cold toward Shichen. Was all to teach him a lesson to make him more obedient. She's truly a top-tier toxic woman." She was so shocked she wanted to roll her eyes in disdain. "Then aren't you planning to force a marriage proposal on Shi Yibai tomorrow?" Zia Momo slowly said, "My husband can only be Shichen." Tu Dian was truly speechless. A moment later, she reminded Zia Momo, "Momo, but right now, he doesn't seem to be coming back to find you. He went to find Qinglu instead." Zia Momo played with the glass beside her. "Don't end up losing everything, and in the end finishing teaching a husband for someone else. So right now he still hasn't been taught enough, still isn't obedient enough. He probably heard that tomorrow I will propose to Shi Yibai, so he beat up Shi Yibai and then went to find Qinglu, thinking that doing so could make me regret." She sneered. "Shichen didn't use his brain either. Seeing that Qinglu knows he is a simp following me around, would she even care to spare a glance at him? He's truly asking for humiliation." Zia Momo took a sip of wine, leisurely saying, "Just relax. It won't be long before he will come back and submissively beg me." Just a few seconds after her words finished, the heavy doors of the banquet hall were slowly pushed open. Everyone in the hall turned their eyes over, their expressions stunned. A woman with an overwhelming aura leisurely walked inside, and then everyone saw me walking in together with her. Zia Momo suddenly sat up straight, staring intently at me. Qinglu smiled as she looked at Zia Momo, then intertwined her 10 fingers with mine. The two of us sat down on an empty sofa. Who knows whether Qinglu did it intentionally or accidentally, but she sat right opposite Zia Momo's group, separated by about 10-odd meters in between. The banquet hall instantly fell silent. Zia Momo spoke up, coquettishly, "Shichen, come over here quickly." Qinglu smiled radiantly, lazily leaning against the back of the sofa, gently saying, "Want to go over there?" While talking, she playfully toyed with my hand. I shook my head using a bewildered tone to say, "Don't know her." "Not going." This sentence was heard by everyone, including Zia Momo. Zia Momo puffed her cheeks in anger. "Shichen, I'm giving you one more chance. Come over here right now." The gaze of Qinglu shifted slightly. She pouted her lips and leaned close to my ear. "Shichen, didn't you want to prove you love me?" Her warm breath made my heart race. She gave a soft snort. "So do you dare to kiss me in front of Zia Momo?" Right after she finished speaking, she saw my eyes light up. Qinglu suddenly had a bad premonition. Sure enough, in the next second I didn't hesitate at all and kissed her. Around us suddenly came the sound of gasps. Astounded, the banquet hall became even quieter. How did he dare to do that? How many times is this already today? Even if he really wants to provoke Shiamomo, isn't he afraid this dose is too strong, making Shiamomo completely go crazy? Beside the ear came a woman's sneer. Kikinglu abruptly turned around. Eldest Miss Shia, what exactly do you want to do? Kikinglu glanced from the corner of her eye. Shiamomo intended to stand up several times, probably wanting to walk toward us, only to be stopped by another woman. The person stopping Shiamomo was actually Qinglu's friend, Song Wanwan. When Qinglu walked in, her circle of sisters already wanted to come close. Seeing me following behind, they wanted to observe the situation first. I've watched all the drama on the internet. It's just a pity that I couldn't watch the drama with my own eyes back then. Who would have thought I'd get to watch a live version here? Song Wanwan was both surprised and keeping an eye on Shiamomo. As expected, Song Wanwan didn't even think twice, directly blocking Shiamomo's path. Are you kidding me? A good thing for my Qinglu? And we're going to let a crazy person like Shiamomo ruin it? Absolutely no way. The corners of Shiamomo's lips curled up into a mocking smile. Get out of the way! Song Wanwan snorted coldly. You tell me to move, and I have to move. Don't I need to save some face? Shiamomo said angrily. I'll say it one more time. Get out of the way. Song Wanwan shrugged, showing a mischievous smile. I'm just not moving. What can you do to me? Shiamomo frowned. She abruptly raised her hand pointing straight at Song Wanwan's face. Song Wanwan took a step back. You stop bossing people around. What I hate most is having others point and gesticulate at my face. The atmosphere instantly became tense. Others didn't even dare to breathe heavily. Only now did I understand. So the proof that Qinglu mentioned meant this. She didn't believe I loved her, still thinking that I was using her. She thought I wouldn't dare to kiss her in front of Momo. Unexpectedly for her. Right, I am completely willingly ready. Qinglu looked at this scene, lightly opening her mouth. Haha, all right. The space instantly became dead, silent. 10 odd people all looked toward Qinglu. Qinglu's voice was cold, mixed with a bit of anger. Do not dirty my place! The others were instantly like having a bucket of cold water poured on them. After all, this was the territory of the Qi family. Causing trouble here would bring unimaginable consequences. Someone looked toward Zia. Momo, their eyes silently asking what to do next. Momo stared intently at me. Tudian hurriedly stepped forward and said to me, Shichen, don't you see someone is bullying Momo? Why don't you hurry over here and help? Everyone again simultaneously looked toward me, including Qinglu. Do I really want to perform? In front of so many people like this? I was lowering my head, pretending not to hear Tudian's words. 737 Qinglu bit her lip. Did what I just said hit a sore spot, Shiamomo? Did the words I just said hit a sore spot? Shiamomo, 740 could no longer endure it anymore. From the moment Shichen, stepping into the banquet hall, walked into the banquet hall, he hadn't spared me a single glance. Before he wasn't like this. Before, as long as I was there, his gaze would always follow me. She suddenly felt a bit panicked. It seemed as if something was escaping from her control. Shiamomo spoke through gritted teeth. Shichen, if you've messed around enough, come over here. As for today's matter, I can choose not to bicker with you. Hearing her tone, that sounded like she was bestowing a favor. I raised my head and looked over. This was the first time tonight I looked at her. Looking for about 2 seconds, I stood up and walked toward Shiamomo. The discomfort in Shiamomo's eyes vanished, showing a few parts of smugness. I knew it. Shichen is indeed doing this to piss me off. The others looked at each other, no one saying a word, only subconsciously making way as I walked over. Song Wanwan was a bit hesitant, but since Momo wanted to come over, then she didn't have any reason to stop her. She glared at Shiamomo, helplessly shook her head, and stepped aside to make way. Men truly have terrible eyesight. In what way is Qinglu inferior to this girl surnamed Xia? Qinglu lightly puffed her cheeks, pursed her lips tightly, and shifted her gaze elsewhere, her toes lightly tapping the ground, suppressing the urge to pull me back. I just said a harsh word and your face already fell. She was so fierce to you, yet you still thick-skinnedly lean close to her. Humph, what a big idiot. After so many years, I should have been used to it. It's just that today, Shichen acted too perfectly, making me a bit dazed, and even giving rise to a few parts of joy. Thinking that Shichen finally cared to look at me. Forget it. Consider this the last time helping him then. Qinglu quietly stood up, no longer looking at me, turning around to walk outside. Just as she took 2 steps, she heard an exclamation from behind. Oh my God. Shichen and I were still standing with Shiamomo. Qinglu looked back and saw Momo pointing her hand at me, asking with an unbelievable expression, say that one more time. Even if I say it 100 times, I still don't like you. I don't even care to look at you. I turned my head, smiling radiantly as I looked at Qinglu, then asked, is she exactly Shiamomo? I already told her that I don't care to look at her and told her to stop looking for trouble. Qinglu, seeing this, is it okay? Qinglu's heart thumped hard. Could it be that Shi Chen really lost his memory? Seeing her say nothing, I rolled my eyes around and came up. My leg seems to have a cramp. Qinglu, hurry and give me a hand. His acting skills are pretty top tier, huh? Qinglu quietly looked at me for a few seconds. Then she walked toward me, under everyone's watchful eyes. Stopping right in front of me without saying a word, she directly put my arm over her shoulder to support me. My eyes shone like stars as I looked at her with a radiant smile. Momo gritted her teeth, looking up and glaring at the two of us fiercely. Qinglu, where do you think you're taking Shi Chen? He's mine. I have a bad premonition. If I let Qinglu take Shi Chen away, I will truly lose him. Qinglu just tilted her head to look at her, the coldness in her eyes vanishing, while a smug smile played on the corners of her lips. From now on, he is mine. Shi Chen wanted to walk toward me on his own, so whether he has amnesia or is just using me, he no longer has a way out to regret it. Qinglu smiled radiantly as she supported me, the one who had actively walked toward her and then left. Qinglu still took me to the hospital for a visit, for no other reason than wanting to see if Shi Chen's head really had a problem. After getting in the car, I couldn't help but want to lean close to her. Qinglu still coldly dropped a line. Sit properly. My mouth twitched. Qinglu, do you not like me holding you? The current Qinglu is just too cold and distant. This bad woman. Qinglu leaned against the car seat, indifferently asking before, did you also cling to Momo like this? It's like you have no bones, always wanting to lean on someone else. I frowned, muttering, why do you keep bringing her up? Qinglu turned her head to look outside the car window, not even bothering to open her mouth anymore. Like I actually want to bring up Momo. You've liked Momo for so many years. Did you really forget? Arriving at the hospital, Qinglu asked someone to arrange a comprehensive checkup for me, even including the psychiatric department. I stayed quiet, without saying anything. If a checkup can put Qinglu's mind at ease, then let's just do it. The other tests were fine, but when it came to making a diagnosis in the psychiatric department, I had to answer a lot of questions. No matter what the doctor asked me, I said I didn't know. Only when asked about Qinglu did my eyes light up. After a round of diagnosis, the doctor's mood was quite complex. Finally, he wrote 3 words on the diagnosis sheet and handed it to Qinglu, who was waiting outside, with a slightly strange smile. The doctor handed the diagnosis to Qinglu. Rest assured, his mental state is normal, no big issues. It's just this little minor illness. I followed behind the doctor. It turned out the doctor and Qinglu also knew each other. The doctor turned around to look at me and smiled, then turned back to tell Qinglu that he was busy. You two make yourselves at home. I hurriedly said, thank you, thank you. Watching him turn around to go back to his office, I finally walked in front of Qinglu, asking her with innocent eyes, what did the doctor say? Qinglu glanced at the medical report, her expression complex as she handed it to me. See for yourself. I took it, glancing at the diagnosis section at the very bottom. Physical and mental checkup shows no organic pathology. Mood is affected by emotional issues. Sanity is normal. I was a bit puzzled. What does this mean, Qinglu sighed. It means you're lovesick. I nodded, looking overjoyed. This doctor really judges people accurately. She read it again from beginning to end with a complex mood. His body, indeed, has no problems. If he is intentionally pretending just to get close to me, then what on earth is Shi Chen's ultimate goal? It's not because of Momo. So what else could make Shi Chen disregard everything, to actively approach someone he hates like me? If he isn't pretending, can a person really just within a single day suddenly change entirely? Qinglu couldn't help but raise her hand to rub my head a couple of times. Not seeing any swelling anywhere, she cross-examined me. This morning when stepping into the elevator, did your head get caught in the elevator door? I looked at her with the speechless expression. You could be a bit more obvious with your sarcasm. I asked her somewhat helplessly, why can't you believe that I genuinely like you? Qinglu withdrew her hand, looking straight into my eyes. You tell me if it were you, would you believe it? True, before I didn't believe either, that Qinglu genuinely loved me. Not until that fire. I spoke seriously. Actually, I've always really liked you. It didn't just start today. Always. Qinglu's eyelashes fluttered slightly. She was a bit skeptical. You mean always? I said sincerely and seriously. It's just that before I didn't dare to get close to you. You're so wonderful, yet you were always cold and distant toward me. I always felt I didn't deserve you. A bit disappointed. Qinglu frowned slightly, both amused and annoyed. Shi Chen, stop playing the victim. Clearly you were the one who was always cold to me. I started to justify myself. For me, it's because unrequited love turned into resentment. Qinglu gritted her teeth harder. Smooth talk is useless. Don't even think about changing the subject. The corner of my mouth twitched. Can't you give in to me just once? I'm confessing my love very seriously here. Qinglu fell silent. After a moment of suppressing the frustration in her heart, she turned around and walked away. I stood still watching her back. Seeing that she had absolutely no intention of stopping, I then called out Qinglu. Qinglu froze and turned her head to look at me. I blinked my eyes, my tone softening completely. Qinglu, my leg hurts. Hearing that Qinglu knew I wanted to play the victim again, she snorted coldly in her heart. Then don't move. Whether you want to leave or not is up to you. After saying that, she turned her head to keep walking. I just stood there motionless without saying another word. Qinglu was about to reach the elevator door. She closed her eyes for a moment and without any hesitation turned around and walked back. Gritting her teeth, she whispered in my ear, Shichen, I must have owed you in my past life. I gave a low chuckle, putting my hand on her shoulder, leaning close to her cheek and lightly touching it, before saying softly, It's not that I owe you, my Qinglu. The frustration in Qinglu's heart eased up quite a bit. She coldly let out a snort. You owe me, so shouldn't you carry me? Have you ever seen a debtor dare to flex in front of their creditor? I answered her seriously. Generally speaking, creditors collecting debts originally don't have it easy. The bigger the debt, the harder it is to collect. So the creditor must pamper and stay right by the debtor's side. Only then can that debt possibly be slowly collected back. Qinglu let out a soft snort. You sure have a lot of excuses. I again leaned close to her ear and said softly, The debt I owe you is huge, so you have to stay with me for a lifetime. That way I'll have a whole lifetime to slowly pay back everything I owe you. My Qinglu, is that okay? A lifetime. The two of us stepped into the elevator. She raised her eyes, staring intently at me. Shichen, do you know what a lifetime means? Of course I know. She and I gazed at each other passionately. Word by word, I answered that in this lifetime we will never part, growing old together. Qinglu currently lives in the same apartment building as me. She is on the upper floor, I am on the lower floor. When I was kicked out of the Shi family, I temporarily had nowhere to go. It was Song Yi who helped me rent the place. Only later did I find out this apartment actually belonged to Qinglu, and she had secretly let Song Yi rent it at a cheap price. Qinglu brought me back home. Can you really not let me over to your place to stay? Qinglu just glared at me. Keep some distance, will you? I reluctantly took a step walking while turning my head back to look. Qinglu stood at the door of the elevator looking at me with a face full of disdain. Reluctant to leave, I walked into the door. After confirming that I had locked the door properly, the disdain on Qinglu's face instantly turned into sheer joy. The corners of her mouth curled up, then she tried to suppress it. Tonight is truly way too thrilling. All kinds of emotions keep fluctuating endlessly. Up until right now, those words of Shichen back in the hospital elevator, never leave, never abandon, and grow old together are still echoing in my ears, but it just feels completely unreal. Could it be that I am dreaming? I didn't know my actions and words made the longing she suppressed for so many years suddenly burst out. Heaven knows how much restraint I had to use just now to suppress the urge to bring Shichen back home. Qinglu glanced at the tightly closed room door one last time, turned around to go upstairs into the bathroom to wash up. Suddenly, the back of Qinglu's hand abruptly felt a strange, sharp pain. She let out a soft exclamation of surprise. She hurriedly raised her hand to look. There wasn't a single trace on the skin. Yet the painful sensation was still there. Qinglu turned off the faucet, turned around to leave the bathroom, and sat down on the sofa, raising her hand to look at the back of it. The pain was gradually subsiding. Qinglu leaned against the sofa and closed her eyes. Right at this moment, the doorbell rang. She opened her eyes and immediately saw that annoying, joyful face displayed on the doorbell screen. Qinglu sighed lightly, helplessly. Can't Shichen just let me rest for a bit? Then she smiled self-deprecatingly again. Forget it wasn't I also looking forward to him coming. Qinglu walked over to open the door, her voice full of helplessness. Shichen, do you know what time it is right now? He saw that she was still wearing the same clothes as earlier, not knowing what she had been doing after being back for so long. I stood at the door, looking pitiful as I reached my hand out toward her. Qinglu, my hand got scratched and injured by Mao Q. The scratch on my hand showed up extremely clearly. Qinglu stared intently at my injury, and her heart suddenly skipped a beat. Isn't this exactly the spot where I just felt pain? How can it be such a coincidence? She snapped out of it and asked if I had treated it yet. I shook my head. I don't know how. Qinglu frowned. You raise a cat yourself, yet you don't know how to treat a scratch. That's right, Mao Chu is the cat I raise. I've raised it for 4 years already. When leaving the Shi family, I only brought it along with me. I answered as if it were obvious. But I've never been scratched by a cat before. Isn't it normal not to know? Qinglu didn't even bother to argue with me anymore. She grabbed my wrist and pulled me into the room. A hint of a smile flashed across the depths of my eyes. Qinglu unexpectedly turned her head back. I blinked, instantly putting on a pitiful look. What's wrong? His acting is truly top tier. Kikinglu thought to herself, then pulled me into the kitchen, turned on the faucet, grabbed my hand and placed it under the running water. Letting the clean water wash over my injury, I grimaced slightly. The injury stinging a bit from being touched. Kikinglu's hand holding mine trembled slightly. She suddenly had a bad premonition, because at this exact moment, the back of her hand also felt a slight sting of pain. She stared intently at my injury. This scratch wasn't very deep, just a bit torn and oozing a little blood. Inhaling softly to suppress those bizarre thoughts, Kikinglu spoke up. In a bit, I'll call someone over to give you a rabies vaccine shot. Yeah, I nodded. Right now, the two of us were standing very close to each other. I lowered my head slightly, and immediately saw her delicate face with her eyebrows knit together. I looked down at her knit eyebrows, my heart stirring slightly. Kikinglu felt unnatural from being stared at, so she casually pulled at her lapel. I glanced at her. What a stingy person. Go on out. Kikinglu remained silent for a moment, then asked me, why did your cat scratch you? You've raised that cat for so many years now. Why would it suddenly scratch you? Moreover, it was a cat that I personally took to get neutered. I muttered under my breath, I don't know. I feel like there's something unclean inside my house. Kikinglu was somewhat speechless. Shichen is getting more and more ridiculous with this. He can make up just about any story. I kept on talking, looking at her with serious eyes. It probably saw something and dazed out, which is why it went crazy like that. Qinglu, right now, I really don't dare to go back. It's super fierce right now. Every time it sees me, it goes wild. I actually felt a bit guilty, feeling as if Mao Qiu had realized something was wrong with me. Qinglu quietly listened to me making things up, so I looked at her with an expectant gaze. So can I stay at your place? Crashing for a night. Qinglu leaned in close, looking at me. Shichen, how come this is the first time I've realized? Your skin is so thick. I swore decisively. Everything I said is true. If you don't believe it, you can go down there and check with me. Qinglu looked at me for a few seconds, suddenly remembering that strange pain, and nodded. All right. After saying that, she walked toward the living room. Washing the injury is about done. Dry your hand first so I can disinfect it for you. She brought out the medical box, grabbed my hand and used a cotton swab dipped in some disinfectant to apply on the scratch. The moment it was applied, the back of my hand felt a stinging pain. Kikinglu's fingers holding the cotton swab tightened slightly. The sensation of sharing my pain became increasingly vivid. She raised her eyes to look at me. Does it hurt? I nodded, saying just a little bit. Kikinglu naturally knew it only hurt a little bit. She took a deep breath, threw away the cotton swab. Let's go check your place. Going downstairs. The moment the door opened, I immediately hid behind Qinglu. Kikinglu helplessly turned her head to look at me. This is your house. What are you hiding from? My gaze was complex. It's very fierce. Earlier when I went home, Mao Qiu was curled up sleeping on the sofa, its whole body a ball of fluffy fur. I sat beside it, spacing out for a while, my fingers gently rubbing its fluffy head. It's been a long time since I last saw it. In the fire of my past life, Mao Qiu couldn't escape. Suddenly it woke up, first rubbing its head against my palm, and just as it was about to jump on me, its round eyes suddenly widened. Almost instantly its fur stood on end and it went berserk. I didn't manage to pull my hand back in time, so I got scratched. I got up in a panic and backed away. Mao Qiu arched, its back staring at me intently and fiercely. Seeing that it was about to pounce at me, I instinctively ran upstairs to Qinglu's house. Right now the door was open and the lights inside were still on. Qinglu saw that I didn't look like I was lying, so she took a step toward the living room first. Just as she stepped into the entryway, she already saw that cat in the living room. It was spinning in circles on the floor. Qinglu turned her head back to look at me with disbelief. This is the very fierce thing you talked about. Just as I was about to speak, Mao Qiu heard the noise and looked over. The cat that was happily playing just a moment ago, instantly again, had its fur stand on end. It arched its back, baring its teeth, ready to pounce at me. I instinctively grabbed Qinglu's petite hand and by conditioned reflex, stood blocking in front of her. I said helplessly, see, it's exactly like that. Mao Qiu made a move as if wanting to rush over. Qinglu pulled me to avoid it, then coldly shouted in a low voice, Mao Qiu, stop! I tightly held Qinglu's hand. It's a cat. Can it even understand what you're saying? How about we leave quickly? Tomorrow I'll have someone take it to the hospital for a checkup. Right at this moment, Mao Qiu looked toward Qinglu. It was clearly stunned for a brief moment, and then the fierceness in its eyes suddenly vanished. The fur that was standing on end also instantly went limp. It was as if it had just reunited with a long-lost family member. It rubbed against Qinglu's leg, meowing, acting spoiled and clinging to her. Qinglu felt this appearance of its was a bit like me. Qinglu spoke up, her voice becoming softer. I think it listens better than you do. Was completely speechless, cursing this ungrateful Mao Qiu in my mind. I worked so hard to raise it. How could it do this? Qinglu smiled. All right, let go of me first. I held onto her small hand, refusing to let go. Qinglu turned her head to look at me. I leaned close to her face, gently touching her cheek, and then immediately withdrew my hand. A slight sense of loss flashed through Qinglu's heart. This idiot Shichen stole another kiss from me. Qinglu bent down, picking up the cat that was rubbing against her feet, sat down on the sofa and placed the cat on her lap. Her fingers brushed over Mao Chu's head, stroking its soft fur. She carefully checked if there was anything unusual about it. Mao Chu was very obedient in her arms, lying still for her to stroke and examine. I stood nearby, seeing that Mao Chu had calmed down and was about to step forward. Who would have thought the moment I walked a few steps closer, Mao Chu suddenly snapped its head up, growling at me. Shichen froze, frowning slightly. She gently patted Mao Chu's head once. Who are you being fierce with? Mao Chu let out another meow, softening up and flattening itself down, except those eyes were still staring intently at me, still not very friendly. Qinglu raised her head to look at me standing not far away. My face clearly showed disappointment and my fingers curled slightly. I've checked it over. There's nothing wrong with it, I said with disappointment. Then why is it so fierce toward me? It's like it doesn't even recognize its owner anymore. My gaze sank. Perhaps the problem isn't with the cat, but with the man in front of me. Qinglu thought I am not a superstitious person, but I've also heard that cats are extremely sensitive animals. What did Shichen do to make it this insecure? Or to put it another way, is the person in front of me really the Shichen I know? This thought made her heart beat faster. Qinglu put the cat on her lap down to the floor, gently patting its butt, telling it to go play somewhere else, but Mao Chu didn't go. It jumped back onto the sofa, curling up next to her. Qinglu didn't bother to manage it anymore. She raised her head to look at me. Shichen. She reached her hand out toward me. Come here. I took 2 steps forward, grabbed her hand, and following the pulling force, sat down next to her. Qinglu leaned in close toward me. My eyes widened slightly, in confusion. Qinglu, this is the first time today that she has actively approached me. The tip of her finger gently touched my chin, signaling me to look at her. Qinglu's voice held a bit of bashfulness. Don't move. Let me look at you. The faces of the two of us were pressed close together, so close that we could clearly see the reflection in each other's eyes. Puzzled, I asked, what are you looking at? Qinglu's small hand gently caressed my face. She looked at me, and in those clear eyes my reflection was mirrored. At this moment I am certain that the man sitting next to me is indeed Shichen. Blushing slightly, she looked at me. Shichen, there's no one else around now. I didn't understand the hidden meaning in her words. Then Qinglu slowly leaned closer to me, her voice a bit raspy as she asked me, do you still want to kiss? Her breath was sweet as she spoke, her lips incredibly close, almost touching my lips. My breath hitched for a moment, because I could clearly see the care and seriousness in her gaze. This gaze felt very familiar. In my past life, she also looked at me like this. After that day, the related videos were leaked. Right when everyone was speculating about the relationship between me and Qinglu, someone leaked another piece of news. Qinglu and the second young master of the Shi family in the capital were preparing for an engagement. The two families had already discussed it before the new year. The second young master of the Shi family, Su Muhei, was still being vague about it, saying cryptically, he who commits many injustices will bring about his own destruction. Everyone understood that statement was aimed at me. In an instant, malicious public opinion surrounded me. Even though the hot keywords were quickly taken down, Su Muhei also deleted the post and apologized. And Qinglu personally posted a Weibo clarification, saying that she was actively pursuing me, and that she and Su Muhei had no relationship whatsoever. But at that time, almost no one would believe it anymore. I was surrounded by public opinion under immense pressure. Even the parents of the Shi family showed a cold attitude, and as for Jia Momo, she didn't even need to be mentioned. Her gaze toward me was full of distance and rejection. During that period of time, I suffered greatly. Those painful emotions had nowhere to be placed, so I could only vent them all on Qinglu. At that time, she also looked at me just like this. But the me back then took that concern as malice. Only much later did I understand the heartbreak and gentleness in the depths of her eyes. It was a love suppressed for so many years. She had loved me for a very, very long time. Qinglu saw that I suddenly dazed out, so she lightly bit her lower lip and asked, don't you want to kiss anymore? I snapped out of it, my hands instinctively hugging her. No, it's not that. Then are we kissing or not? Her voice carried a natural bashfulness. I'm actively letting you kiss me, okay? Her words made my ears burn hot, but right at that moment, I suddenly remembered the events of my past life, knowing that this matter must be asked clearly. I reached out to gently push her away a bit. When she looked over, with a look of being slightly embarrassed to the point of anger, I frankly spoke up to ask her, are you and Su Muhei about to get engaged? Qinglu was stunned. Who is Su Muhei? I was full of helplessness. Actually, last time she had already explained it to me, he and Su Muhei had no relationship. Before the families, indeed arranged for them to meet once, and at that time he had decisively refused. It's just that today, Chi Qinglu and I made the hot search together again. Right now, everyone is speculating about our relationship, although this time I wasn't framed by others. According to the exact sequence of my past life tomorrow, the news of the engagement between Chi Qinglu and Su Muhei will flood the hot search. Su Muhei will also post once again, so this time I must handle this matter properly beforehand. I cannot wait for public opinion to explode before finding a way to salvage it. Most people nowadays don't want to believe in late clarifications. I glared at her, reminding her about the second young master of the Su family. Su Muhei just came back from abroad late last year. Didn't the two of you go on a blind date? How can you still say you don't know him? Now that it's mentioned the time, Chi Qinglu and Su Muhei met. On that blind date, I happened to run into them. At that time, Su Muhei and I were walking out of a restaurant private room together. I glared at Chi Qinglu from afar while secretly muttering in my heart, why do I run into her everywhere I go? And she's even with a handsome guy. It really makes one uncomfortable. Only now did I belatedly realize I was jealous. Turns out she was on a blind date back then, yet now she's still pretending not to know who the other party is. I instantly wanted to break free from her embrace. Chi Qinglu softly called out, Shichen. Then, as if suddenly remembering, did you mean Su the Second? Su the Second. I felt even more sour. You call him pretty intimately, huh? Calling him Su the Second while calling me by my full name, right? Chi, Qinglu said helplessly. Everyone calls him that. I don't even know what his name is. If I don't call him that, what else should I call him? Su Muhei went abroad since he was a child, and just returned to the country a few months ago. He isn't very close to the crowd of young masters and young ladies in the elite circle of this capital. Su Muhei and I have only met once, so it's true I can't remember his name. I only know everyone calls him Su the Second. While speaking, Chi Qinglu snuggled into my chest affectionately, her voice carrying a hint of laughter. And besides, if calling him Su the Second is considered intimate, then do you want me to call you Shi the Eldest from now on? I was tongue-tied, unable to counter with a single word. Shai the Eldest really doesn't sound good at all. Forget it, I won't even argue about this matter anymore. I hesitantly asked her, so what did you say when you went on that blind date with him? Chi Qinglu pouted. Meeting once counts as a blind date. I let out a sigh. Grandmother did ask me to meet him once back then, but before arriving at the restaurant, I had no idea I was meeting him. Once I got there, I rejected him flat out. This sounded pretty similar to what she told me in my past life. I frowned slightly. Then what about your family? They naturally respect my wishes. The Chi family originally didn't need any political marriage at all. My parents, of course, prioritized my wishes. Moreover, this matter was arranged by grandmother at that time. Grandmother and Su Muhei's grandmother have been close friends since they were young girls. Although they grew distant later on, Su Muhei's grandmother proactively brought up this matter. To give her face, grandmother told me to meet him once. It completely can't be said that there was an intention for marriage. I fell into deep thought. But they really have no relationship whatsoever. I breathed a sigh of relief. It's just that Su Muhei making a post on Weibo must absolutely be prevented. What should I do, Chi? Qinglu looked at me, showing a bit of confusion. Why do I feel like Shichen is getting weirder and weirder? Even though she confirmed he is Shichen, she just felt something wasn't right. She tilted her head to look at Mao Chu, who was still curled up nearby. Its gaze looking at me was always none too friendly. Chi Qinglu pouted and looked at me. How long ago was that matter already? Back then you even glared at me once. Did you think I didn't know? Why suddenly bring this up now? Her delicate little face clearly showed displeasure. Are you trying to reject? So you're finding this terrible excuse to brush me off, Shichen. Can you not pretend anymore? I looked at her, my voice softening. I'm not pretending. Then prove it to me. Chi Qinglu moved closer to me. Shichen, get a little closer to me. Shichen won't kiss me, so I'll just kiss him, simple as that. I don't want to hold back anymore. Anyway, he was the one who proactively got close first. Just as I was about to say something, Chi Qinglu slowly moved closer to me, the tip of her nose almost touching my cheek. My heart stirred slightly. I felt her current gentleness was completely different from her aggressiveness in my past life. In my past life, there was almost none of this, only gentle intimacy. The cat that was originally beside Chi Qinglu suddenly became agitated, squirming around and causing a ruckus against Chi Qinglu's leg. Chi Qinglu turned her head to look at the disruptive cat nearby. I also looked at her, unexpectedly locking eyes with her just at that moment. It suddenly became fierce. Chi Qinglu clearly showed displeasure, lightly scolding Mao Qiu. The cat let out a meow, acting pitiful. I felt a bit uneasy and said to her, Qinglu, I don't want to stay here anymore. Qinglu noticed my abnormality. She held my hand intending to leave. Seeing that we were about to leave, the cat also lightly jumped down to the floor intending to follow, but was stopped by a glare from Qinglu. It let out a meow and flattened itself down, looking at me with a pitiful expression. It's indeed the cat I raised, but its expression was strangely similar to mine. Qinglu didn't bother paying attention to it. When the door closed, I turned back to look at the cat in the living room. Maoqiu is really foolish, still wanting to stop Qinglu from being intimate with me. Could it be because Maoqiu sensed that I am different from before? Qinglu brought me back to her room. I was still whispering in her ear. I told you it was very fierce. Qinglu looked at me and asked, "Then what should we do?" "Stop. Raising it, okay?" She spoke while walking toward the kitchen. Hearing that, I frowned. I've raised Maoqiu for 4 whole years. That was a birthday gift someone gave me. At that time, I didn't even know who gave it. Back then, on the card left at the door, it wrote, "Happy birthday." I asked around but didn't know who gave it. At that time, my friends even mocked the gift giver. To go and give a very ordinary-looking cat. They all forgot that I've liked cats since I was a kid. As for that cat I raised in my childhood, because after Shi Yibai came to the Shi family, he was allergic to cat fur, so it was taken away. Now I know that Mao Qiu was a gift from Qinglu, so I can't bear to not raise it. It's just that with the current situation, perhaps it's truly no longer suitable to raise it. I looked at Qinglu's back as she was pouring water, my eyes suddenly lighting up. How about this? From now on, I'll stay at your place while Song Yi downstairs. He can help me raise Maoqiu. Wait until Maoqiu no longer rejects me. Then I'll move back. Qinglu carried this water glass and turned around, looking at me with a playful expression. Then why don't you just directly give the cat to Song Yi? To take away, wouldn't that solve it? I talked nonsense with a serious face. Maoqiu is used to the scent of the house. If it changes places, it won't eat or sleep well, and it'll get sick. Qinglu's lips curled slightly. She smiled faintly and handed the glass in her hand to me. So that means you aren't unfamiliar with new places at all. I took the water glass and took a sip. I'm not unfamiliar with new places. I only recognize the person. I flashed a bright smile. As long as it's a place where you are, I can always eat well and sleep well. Extremely well behaved. Qinglu's voice was gentle and pleasant. Shichen? She and I looked at each other. The fair, smooth hand of Qinglu touched my ear and then gave it a gentle pinch. You've practically turned into a different person. This statement of hers sounded like a joke, but a flash of panic crossed my eyes. The hand holding the water glass also instinctively trembled. I forced myself to calm down. What do you mean your imagination is way too rich? In my heart, I suddenly felt a bit panicked. Regardless, I just want to stay at your place. If you kick me out, I'll sleep right in front of your door, just watch. After saying that, I turned around intending to walk toward the living room. I was afraid she would notice something unusual. If she knew I was no longer the same as before, would she be like Maoqiu and start to distance herself from me? But the moment I turned away, I was hugged around the waist by her. Before I could even react, she pressed her forehead against mine. No one knew. This was a scene that previously she didn't even dare to think of in her dreams. Before, Shichen always distanced himself from me. In his eyes, there was only Ziamomo. Every time I saw Shichen happily walking beside Ziamomo, I really wanted to ask what exactly he liked about Ziamomo. Clearly, I wasn't inferior to her at all. No, that's not right. I did ask once. When he was pushed away by Ziamomo, again I asked like a joke, what exactly do you like about Ziamomo? You might as well like me instead. Clearly, I am not inferior to Ziamomo at all. But he said, I don't have those feelings for you. For all these years, Qinglu often thought Shichen, if he were willing to share 1/10,000th of the gentleness he gives to Shia Momo with me, I would already feel very happy. But now, it's like a beautiful dream suddenly came true. Shichen is right in front of me saying he loves me, saying he wants to be with me for a lifetime, saying he wants to proactively get close to me. But just a few seconds later, noise suddenly came from the door. Someone opened the door and walked in. Before seeing the person, their voice was already heard. Qinglu, in the dead of night, what's going on? Why did you ask me to give a rabies vaccine shot to a cat? Followed by an oh my. The moment that voice rang out, I immediately carried Qinglu into the kitchen. Song Xuanyuan stood at the entrance, watching the two living people who were just there completely vanish. She saw very clearly what Qinglu was doing just now. Definitely not the kind of intimacy one has with Maoqiu. Truly unexpected. Totally unexpected. She actually caught Qinglu's live drama. At this moment, Qinglu walked out, glancing sideways at Song Xuanyuan. Song Xuanyuan smiled suggestively. I didn't see anything at all, okay? You two keep going, just pretend I'm not here. After saying that, she happily turned and left even thoughtfully, closing the door behind her. Song Xuanyuan leaned her back against the door, letting out a sigh of relief. This is way too exciting. The elevator doors opened, and Liang Chengcheng stepped out carrying a medical box. The moment she saw Song Xuanyuan, she asked in confusion, "What are you standing here for?" After speaking, she looked at the door behind her. "Does Qinglu's house really have a dog?" Song Xuanyuan thought for a moment and then nodded. She said cryptically, "There's not just a dog, but a cat too. Right now they are fighting." "Don't rush. Let's wait until they finish fighting before we go in." Hearing this, Liang Chengcheng's eyes widened. Inside the room, I stepped out from the kitchen. "Do you still want to continue?" I was completely speechless. "You still want to continue after that?" Qinglu's eyes curved with laughter. Getting shy just from this. "In the past, in front of so many people, I never saw you being this restrained. How can those be the same? Back then it was out in the open. Now with just the two of us at home and getting caught. Aren't you embarrassed, Qi?" Qinglu really couldn't understand my train of thought. She just found it a bit funny. She grabbed my hand and gave it a shake. "Are we currently not being publicly intimate but sneaking around instead?" I said softly but firmly. "I feel like we really are sneaking around." Qinglu didn't know whether to laugh or cry at my thoughts. "So Shichen, you don't want to go public, right?" As she spoke, the light in her eyes suddenly dimmed. Shichen, of course, still has no intention of making our relationship public. Or is he still playing a part to trick me? I shook my head again. "It's not me, it's you. Because every time I want to be openly and rightfully intimate with you, you always act reserved and push me away. Yet in private, you're incredibly proactive. Isn't this exactly what not wanting to go public means?" I tilted my head to look at her. "Look, when we're outside, you don't even let me get close. Count it yourself. Out there today. How many times did you reject me, Qi? Who didn't expect me to flip the script and play the victim? Like this." This morning he still showed a look of impatience, yet by evening he changed his attitude and proactively leaned close. Would I even dare to proactively get close? Qinglu was truly both angry and amused. She directly linked her arm with mine, raising her small face to look straight at me. "You mean I should call them in right now? And continue what we were doing just now in front of them? All right." Before I could say anything, Qinglu nodded. After speaking, she let go of me. I was stunned. Turning my head around, she had already walked out to the living room. She actually didn't believe that I would continue this matter in front of Song Xuanyuan. But I didn't stop her from opening the door either. After all, locking people outside the door is pretty impolite. I picked up the water glass from earlier and drained. Qinglu had already opened the door. "Come in." Liang Chengcheng clearly still hadn't figured things out, still not understanding what Song Xuanyuan meant by that vague cat and dog talk. She looked at Song Xuanyuan with a bizarre expression, carrying the medical box as she curiously poked her head in. Then she looked toward Qinglu. "Xuanyuan said your dog and cat are fighting. Since when did you start raising them?" Then she saw me standing in the living room. Only at this moment did she suddenly realize the issue and the meaning behind Song Xuanyuan's words. Song Xuanyuan was still outside the door. Only now did she let out a chuckle, and then followed them inside. This time she looked at me with an exceptionally radiant smile. "Hello, brother-in-law." All three of them looked toward Song Xuanyuan at the same time. Liang Chengcheng looked at her with disbelief, using her eyes to ask, "You're already calling him brother-in-law?" Song Xuanyuan locked eyes with her. "What do you know?" One look and you can tell Qinglu is being serious. Song Xuanyuan completely won the stare down. Liang Chengcheng also obediently followed suit. "Hello, brother-in-law." To tell the truth, suddenly being called that by the two of them made me a bit embarrassed. But I still politely replied, "Hello, you two." Qinglu looked at me with a gentle expression, clearly very satisfied with how these two addressed me. "You two just make yourselves at home and hang out for a bit." After saying that, she walked toward me. Song Xuanyuan didn't think much of it, dragging Liang Chengcheng over to the sofa to sit down. Liang Chengcheng curiously asked Qinglu, "Are you going to give him a rabies vaccine shot?" She suddenly pulled Song Xuanyuan's hand, clearing her throat with a strange tone. "What are you doing?" Song Xuanyuan turned her head, seeing the two of us sticking close to each other, and immediately covered her mouth with her hand. "Did you open the door? And let the two of us in just to watch you guys act lovey-dovey? We're turning into major third wheels here." Both of them stiffened and turned their heads to look at each other clearly, shocked by Qinglu's actions. "Now, do you still think I don't want to go public?" I shook my head vigorously. "Not at all. You are truly incredibly bold and straightforward." A flash of bashfulness crossed Qinglu's face. "If this isn't enough, then we can go out to the living room, right in front of the two of them." I suddenly covered her mouth. Terrifying. This woman is indeed just as playful as in my past life. "Enough, that's truly enough." Qinglu looked straight into my eyes for 2 seconds. I felt something gently brush against the palm of my hand. I instinctively withdrew my hand, completely surrendering. "I think I'd better get the vaccine shot first." Qinglu pulled me toward the bathroom. Go take a shower first. You can't take a shower after getting the shot. I was stunned. But I don't have a change of clothes. King Lu seemed to know what I was going to say. The personal items in the bathroom are all brand new. As for your change of clothes, I'll go downstairs and get them for you. She went into the bathroom to help me prepare things. Go ahead and shower. First, I'll bring them up and hang them at the door for you. I nodded, reminding her. Then bring up a few more sets of clothes for me. King Lu smiled gently. Okay. After speaking, she turned around and walked out, leaving the space to me. When she returned to the living room, the two people sitting close together on the sofa both looked at her with strange expressions. King Lu paused for a moment, her expression normal as she looked over. What are you looking at? Liang Chengcheng shook her head and smiled. Song Xuanyuan raised her eyebrows. Tisk tisk, King Lu. I didn't expect you to have this side to you. King Lu rarely showed bashfulness in front of her sisters. It's fine, you'll be the same when you have a boyfriend. Song Xuanyuan pouted. I won't be like you, okay? King Lu walked out, her voice teasing. Oh, really? Then what about that guy from the Zhang family? You won't be like that either. Is that so? Then that's great. There's no need to report his news to you anymore. Song Xuanyuan immediately bounced up from the sofa, trotting over to King Lu's side to act cute. King Lu, do you have news about Zhang Fan? King Lu smiled and said, Xuanyuan, didn't you say you wouldn't be like that? Why do you want to know his news? I am like you, my dearest kind-hearted King Lu. Please tell me news about him. King Lu had already reached the door and stopped, looking at her meaningfully. Go to Hong Kong to find him. Song Xuanyuan pulled back her expression, her face becoming serious as she said, Thanks, King Lu. After speaking, she left right away without delaying for a single second. Liang Chengcheng on the sofa was silent for a moment, a bit doubtful, asking, Is that guy from the Zhang family really in Hong Kong? Yeah, he just arrived in Hong Kong this afternoon. I've already received the news. After speaking, he watched Song Xuanyuan, who had already entered the elevator. But I heard he went to Hong Kong with his girlfriend. Liang Chengcheng frowned. Then what about Xuanyuan? King Lu's tone was calm. If she can win him back, then that's her own capability. If she can't win him back, she needs to face reality. After all, she was the one who made him run away in the first place, so she can't blame anyone else. After speaking, she didn't mention this matter anymore. She said to Liang Chengcheng, You just sit for a bit. I'm going downstairs to pack some things for Shichen. Liang Chengcheng let out a soft sigh and nodded. Okay, go ahead. King Lu went downstairs, and as soon as she opened the door, a cat in the house immediately rushed over, mewing and rubbing against her leg to act cute. King Lu bent down to stroke its head. She softly asked, Why were you so fierce to Shichen? Aokyo couldn't answer her, only using its head to rub against her palm. King Lu let out a soft sigh and patted its head while it acted cute. Acting cute with me is useless. Tomorrow I'll have someone come over to clip your claws. After speaking, she walked straight toward the bedroom. The cat followed behind her. The layout of the upper and lower floors was exactly the same. She familiarly found the master bedroom, pushed open the door, turned on the light, and went straight into the walk-in closet. King Lu looked inside the walk-in closet. There were only a few clothes scattered around. Her delicate eyebrows furrowed slightly. Before, she had never seen Shuchen's clothes, overlap or repeat. But meeting him this month, a few times, she always saw him wearing those same few outfits over and over. King Lu helped him grab a set of pajamas and pulled a drawer open. When she saw the underwear, she blushed with embarrassment. She randomly grabbed a few pieces and put them into the bag. King Lu accidentally saw a small black velvet box. I've seen this box before. A few days ago, when Song Yi and I were at the styling studio, I asked Song Yi beside me if it was too simple, too sketchy, and if she would like it. Song Yi rolled his eyes. Even if you give something more expensive, she might not necessarily like it. Moreover, with your current situation still, thinking about giving her a gift is already pretty good. I nodded. True. That was also when I saw King Lu and immediately turned my face away. King Lu didn't hear clearly what I muttered, but she could probably guess part of it, and it roughly wasn't anything good. King Lu knew very well who the thing inside this box was meant for. Urged by an indescribable emotion, she picked that box up. Her fingertips trembled slightly as she opened the lid. Inside the box was an exquisite hairpin. Beneath the hairpin there was also a note, folded up. King Lu pursed her lips and carefully pulled that note out. Momo, happy birthday. King Lu's heart sank all the way to the bottom. As expected, even though she had long known, at this moment her heart still tightened with unbearable pain. If I remember correctly, Sia Momo's birthday was 3 days ago. Why wasn't Shuchen's gift sent out? King Lu closed her eyes. Shuchen, in the end, why didn't you choose me? Is it because you were hurt by Zia? Momo, so you're treating me as a replacement. Forcing down the trembling in her fingertips, King Lu put the box back, tidied up the things, and turned around to leave. When she returned to the bedroom, the sound of water in the bathroom still hadn't stopped. Qinglu hung the bag on the door and knocked on it. The sound of water quickly stopped. Shichen's deep, warm voice rang out. "Qinglu, is that you?" Qinglu spoke up, her voice carrying a hint of disappointment that couldn't be suppressed. "I've hung your clothes on the door. Get them yourself in a bit." Shichen replied, "I'll be right out," Qinglu softly said. "No need to rush." She intended to say something more, but in the end she just lowered her eyes, turned around, and walked out. Not long after, Shichen stepped out of the bathroom and sat down beside Qinglu to let Liang Chengcheng help him inject the rabies vaccine. Qinglu was on the side, her brows furrowed as she watched. When the needle pierced into his arm, the slight stinging sensation made him frown slightly. Qinglu's gaze flickered slightly. Liang Chengcheng didn't want to stay any longer. As a single person, she sensitively noticed that something was wrong with the atmosphere. So after giving instructions on the precautions and the time for the next visit, she hurriedly took her leave. Shichen raised his head to look at Qinglu, their eyes meeting. "Qinglu, what's wrong?" I hesitantly spoke up. Qinglu's emotions seemed a bit off, even though she was perfectly fine before I went to take a shower. Qinglu didn't reply. "Shichen." I looked at her. "What's wrong?" She reached her arms around my neck, pulling me close to her ear and asking softly, "Do you want to marry me?" I could hardly believe my ears. "Marry?" She still pressed close to my ear. "Let's set our engagement right now." Set the engagement right now. The meaning of right now is... I was a bit dazed. It means deciding our life right now. Tomorrow morning we'll go straight to register our marriage. Qinglu pressed close to my ear and asked me softly, "Shichen, do you want to marry me?" I suddenly became a bit dazed. Marriage. In my past life, Qinglu had also mentioned it many times. At first, I treated her very coldly. Later, when I ended up like that, I became even more unwilling. Eventually, Qinglu didn't mention it anymore either. Only silently, staying by my side. But in her office drawer, I once saw a pair of diamond wedding rings, custom-made. I had secretly taken them out to try on, and they fit perfectly. My silence made Qinglu's breathing seem to freeze, so quiet that I could clearly hear her heartbeat. Her voice held a hint of disappointment. "Shichen, you don't want to?" "Of course not. I am more willing than anyone." Qinglu finally dared to turn her head and look straight into my eyes. "Qinglu, I'm so happy." I picked her up and spun her around on the spot. "Qinglu, I like you so much. Do you really want to marry me?" Qinglu's heart tightened. If she hadn't understood Shichen too well since childhood, and known how much he loathed her, and if she hadn't just now seen that hairpin that hadn't been gifted from 2 days ago, then she really would have believed him. Liar. Who says Shichen's acting skills aren't good? He's clearly acting so well. But even knowing it's a lie, Qinglu at this moment is also completely willing. She pouted. "Shichen, you must remember well what you just said. If I find out you're lying to me," I couldn't help but press further. "Then what? Then I will cling to you and won't leave you for a single step. I'll stick to you every day, heh." My heart also beat wildly, along with her words. Right now she is becoming more and more like the Qinglu I am familiar with. When Qinglu thought I would be frightened by her words, I flashed a bright smile. "Sure thing." I curiously asked further, "But you said we're setting our engagement now. It's almost morning, how can we prepare in time?" "As long as Shichen agrees, then any time is in time." Qinglu made a few phone calls. About an hour later, bags filled with all kinds of clothes and jewelry already piled up in the living room. She pouted and said it was all because it was too late. "Tomorrow I'll have them send more over. These are all custom-made according to your preferences. Pick a set to try on so we can take photos tomorrow." Let out a baffled, "Oh!" Qinglu went into the room to change into a white dress. I picked a set from that pile of bags that matched hers, looking no different from a couple's outfit. The doorbell rang. Qinglu leaned close and gave me a soft kiss. I looked at her with amusement. "Go open the door. Once we're married, won't we have plenty of time?" Qinglu nodded in agreement, and then turned around to open the door. The people who arrived were from the wedding planning agency, and staff from a high-end fashion boutique. The staff walked in and saw the two of us, their inner gossip fire burning intensely. Before coming, they were still complaining about who would torture people in the middle of the night, insisting on preparing a wedding at this hour. In the hearts of the three people, they couldn't help but speculate. Urgently, deciding a marriage matter like this, could it really be just as netizens analyzed? That in Shichen's hands, there is something that can control the eldest miss of the Qi family. The next day, when we arrived at the Civil Affairs Bureau to register and take photos, the staff clearly recognized the two of us, their eyes filled with gossip. The two of us sat shoulder to shoulder together. Qinglu looked at some text on her phone and suddenly said, "Wait a minute." I looked at her in confusion. "What's wrong?" The staff's hearts also jumped into their throats. Here it comes, here it comes. The eldest miss is regretting it. Watching the drama live on scene is so thrilling. Kikinglu gently fixed the tie, for me, which was slightly crooked. Let me adjust it for you. I smiled, looking at the gentle and lovely woman in front of me. Is it good now? Kikinglu smiled and gave me a light kiss on the cheek. It's good now. I turned my head and caught the staff member's shocked and excited gaze, giving a forced laugh. The staff member also smiled back at me. This is way too sweet. It's giving me total butterflies. The rumors on the internet really can't be believed. Kikinglu's small face flushed slightly. She sat down again and naturally linked her arm with mine, saying to the photographer, "All right, take the photo." The staff member looked at the two in the lens, her eyes lighting up. Today, seeing these two on hot search, she thought it was just due to filters and editing. But now this visual combo is truly breathtaking. It's melting the fangirl heart of this old-timer. Not long after the two marriage, certificates were handed over to the two of us. At that exact moment, Kikinglu felt stunned. Shichen is already her husband. Her fingers trembled as she stroked the booklet. She turned her head to look at me and saw that I was also staring blankly at the marriage certificate, completely dazed. Kikinglu pursed her lips slightly, unable to help but secretly guess whether Shichen felt more happiness right now or more loathing. When leaving the Civil Affairs Bureau, Kikinglu handed over the thank you gifts that she prepared in advance to the staff. You're way too polite. This is what we're supposed to do. Wishing Miss Ki and Mr. Shi a happy marriage, and may you grow old together in harmony for 100 years. Kikinglu's gaze became even more gentle. Thank you. After returning home, Kikinglu saw that I was still lowering my head, looking at the marriage certificate in my hand. What are you looking at? Shichen, don't tell me you're unhappy. But I raised my head and looked at her happily. Kikinglu stared at me completely dazed. I eagerly asked her, can I post on Weibo? Kikinglu was a bit dazed. Weibo. I waved the marriage certificate in front of her. This I want to post it on Weibo to go public, can I? When Kikinglu said she wanted to get married, I had already thought about it. Isn't this the best solution? As long as I drop the marriage photos to go public first, then won't the issue on Tu Muhuo's side be completely resolved? Kikinglu really didn't expect that I would want to go public. Of course you can. She sat down next to me. I suddenly furrowed my brows again. But I don't have a phone. My phone is over at Song Yi's place. My Weibo account has always been managed by him too. Kikinglu's eyes curved with laughter. Then let me post it. She took a few pictures of the marriage certificates and logged into her Weibo account that she had never used before. Not long after the hot search exploded. No matter when, no matter through all 4 seasons, we will grow old together and never part. Attached were the photos of the 2 marriage certificates. Everyone was discussing it incredibly fiercely. Kikinglu had given the most direct answer. I looked at her Weibo post, my gaze flickering slightly. I suddenly thought of something and said, your parents still don't know about us getting married, right? Kikinglu smiled faintly. Hubby. My heart suddenly raced and my face flushed red. Kikinglu burst into laughter. Instead of spending time thinking about that, why don't you think about something else? I asked curiously. Think about what Kikinglu leaned close to me. You should think about whether the 2 of us will sit here in the living room and chat all night, or go back to our own rooms to sleep. I asked in confusion, is there any difference between these 2 choices? Kikinglu blinked. You just make the decision. I thought for a moment and then naturally grabbed her small hand. Then Kikinglu, come rest with me. Kikinglu looked at our 2 intertwined hands. Shichen, don't you dare regret this. I looked at her bewildered. Why would I regret it? By nighttime, Kikinglu pulled up the blanket and stripped completely naked without any hesitation. I blankly looked at her. What are you doing? Kikinglu calmly replied, sleeping. What else? If you don't pull up the blanket, how can you sleep? I became even more bewildered. Didn't you say you were going to rest with me? Kikinglu poked her hand out from under the blanket and patted the spot next to her. That's right, come over here and sleep. You still don't understand that the current situation is just this. Kikinglu looked into my eyes. If not, then what? Don't tell me you have other plans. We're already married, she said coquettishly. I know. Her eyes carried a hint of playfulness as she leaned close and softly brushed against my cheek. Shichen is my husband now. No matter if Shichen truly loves me or not, in short, he completely belongs to me now. I spoke up hesitantly. So are you sure on our wedding night you just want to peacefully rest with me like this? Kikinglu looked at me, because I feel like Shichen still needs time to accept things and fully prepare. I don't need Shichen's temporary impulse. We're already married, so I'm not in a rush. I can wait slowly, until the day Shichen truly loves me. How could I know what she was thinking? With a mischievous smile on my face, I don't need to prepare. Then I'm the one who needs to slowly. Adapt. Shichen, give me a little time, okay? All right, let's sleep. Lights out. The room completely plunged into darkness. Only the two of us remained. The sound of soft, steady breathing rang out. I had thought I would stay awake all night, but smelling Qinglu's scent, I quickly fell into a deep sleep. On the contrary, Qinglu listened to my breathing and didn't feel sleepy at all. She was terrified that when she woke up and opened her eyes, she would find out this was just a beautiful dream. Right at this moment, she heard me talking in my sleep. A nightmare. I don't want to. Qinglu was instantly stunned. Her burning emotions instantly turned cold. I startled awake from my dream, drenched all over in cold sweat. My first reaction was to tremble and reach up to touch my face. The scar was gone, that bumpy texture was no longer there. My breathing gradually recovered. At that moment, I really almost thought rebirth was just a dream. Could it not be? I closed my eyes. It took a long time to steady myself before opening my eyes to look next to me. Qinglu wasn't there. I sat up and looked at the clock next to me. It was only 6:30. Why did she get up so early? I didn't plan on sleeping anymore either. Throwing off the blanket and getting out of bed. Opening the bedroom door, I saw on the balcony across from the living room, Qinglu was standing with her back to me. I walked over and hugged her from behind. Why did you get up so early? The person I hugged froze slightly. A few seconds later, she finally turned around. Why didn't you sleep a bit longer? She wrapped her arms tightly around my waist. I looked at her pale complexion and curiously asked, Did you not sleep well last night? Qinglu didn't reply, raising her head to look straight into my eyes. What about you, Shichen? Did you sleep well? Hearing that, I felt a bit troubled. I shook my head. Not very well. The corners of Qinglu's lips twitched slightly. Why? I rubbed my temples. I had a nightmare. Qinglu looked at me and asked softly, What kind of nightmare? I frowned deeply, not knowing how to say it. I dreamed about that day in my past life when I returned home. Momo was already waiting at home. Seeing me walk through the door, she told me that she was the one who handed over that glass of wine. She also said she had no choice but to drink it. Momo threw the things next to her at me. Zia, Momo, you don't need to... Just thinking up to this point, my hands that were holding Qinglu subconsciously tightened. Qinglu gently patted my back to comfort me. It's okay, it's just a nightmare. But Qinglu wasn't that easily fooled. She felt my stiffness. Right now, she's reflecting on what I said in my sleep, and the tone of my voice back then seemed to carry an intense insecurity. It's just that at the time, she was blinded by jealousy, so she hadn't thought much about it. Qinglu shiftily called my name Shichen. Qinglu softly asked me, Momo, did she do something bad to you? I didn't quite understand. What do you mean? Qinglu raised her hand to gently caress my face. Did Zia Momo do anything to you? Her words made me think about my past life again. I suddenly didn't dare to look at her. No. That was already a matter of the past life. And besides, she already got her karma in the past life. As for the present, Zia Momo no longer has any chance. Qinglu's small face was full of heartache. Afraid I would see it. She took a deep breath to suppress her emotions. If there's nothing, then that's good. Qinglu buried her head in my chest. A moment later, she suddenly asked me, Today the Shi family is throwing a banquet. Does Shichen want to go? This topic immediately caught my attention. Shi Yibai's celebration banquet? I don't really want to go. I don't want to see the people from the Shi family. To me, they are worse than strangers. Qinglu looked at me. If Shichen wants to go, I'll take you there. I asked back in confusion, Go there for what? Qinglu smiled full of pride. To watch them make fools of themselves, of course. I flashed a bright smile. Sure thing. Actually, thinking about it, the Shi family must be looking for me right about now. It's just that my phone isn't with me, and the Shi family doesn't dare to cause trouble at Qinglu's place, which is why I've been able to stay peaceful until now, without anyone bothering me. But sooner or later, we'll have to meet. The banquet takes place at noon, and it's still pretty early right now. After the two of us finished breakfast, Qinglu went into the study. The hot searches were in a total frenzy. Her phone almost exploded with calls, but she turned it off and didn't even bother to care. When she turned it back on, she called back her parents who were traveling around the world, and then replied to messages from a few friends. I went back to the bedroom to sleep in for a bit. When I woke up, I changed into the clothes Qinglu prepared. She had ordered someone to send over a high-end suit and had a stylist waiting ready to do my hair. Qinglu sat on the side holding her phone, continuously typing away. No idea what she was doing. After finishing the prep, I stood up and asked Qinglu, Is your hubby handsome, Qinglu? Heard my voice and raised her head, putting her phone away. She stood up, walked over to me, smiled and nodded. Incredibly handsome. After that, she also changed into a matching color high-end gown. After the styling was completely finished, I looked at her with burning eyes. I couldn't help but lean down and plant a soft kiss on her cheek. My Qinglu is so beautiful. As the two of us stood side by side, Qinglu suddenly felt a bit regretful, not wanting such a handsome Shichen to be seen by Momo. What should she do? Ah no, bringing Shichen out to flex for a round. Won't that make others die of envy? Shichen is her husband after all. The styling staff standing on the side squealed with excitement. So sweet, you guys match so well. Hearing that, Qinglu's eyes curved even more with laughter. She looked up at me. Shichen, did you hear that everyone thinks we are the best match? I reached out and gently rubbed the top of her head, my voice filled with a gentle pampering that I had never given to anyone else, reserved solely for her alone. I naturally held her hand tightly. At this exact moment, I suddenly broke free from all the previous shackles. Before, I used to endure everything patiently, shrinking back step by step, not wanting to show off, used to keeping a low profile and hiding my sharp edge. But right now, I just want to go completely high profile. Want to stand beside my girl? And make this love public for the whole world to know. Qinglu's cheeks flushed red from my blunt favoritism. Then let's go out now. I want to show everyone that my husband is the absolute best. I nodded, letting her lead me by the hand out of the living room. Just as we stepped out of the door, we ran right into someone hiding at the corner of the hallway. It was Momo who was sneakily watching. She was dressed in an exquisite gown with incredibly elaborate makeup, but her eyes were glued to me, full of unwillingness and obsession. Before, she had always schemed at every turn, secretly driving a wedge between me and Qinglu, spreading malicious rumors to slander Qinglu, and even sneakily plotting to alienate us, scheming to worm her way to my side and seize everything that originally belonged to Qinglu. How did she still have the nerve to show her face in front of us? Seeing me and Qinglu with our fingers tightly intertwined, looking so intimate and gentle, Momo's face instantly turned pale. The last bit of hope in her eyes completely shattered, replaced by deep jealousy and resentment. She took a step forward. Shichen, do you really want to be with her? In what way am I inferior to her? I've done so much for you. Why have you never looked at me? Without waiting for me to speak, Shichen is my husband. In his heart, there has only ever been me, all. Your calculations and responsibilities were wrong from the very beginning. I reached out to shield Qinglu in my arms, the gentleness in my eyes instantly vanishing, replaced by a bone-chilling coldness. The things you did weren't sacrifices, they were evil deeds. I looked at Momo, enunciating every word clearly, spreading fake rumors about Qinglu, secretly plotting to frame her, driving a wedge between our feelings, and even bribing others to maliciously slander our relationship. Every single thing, I know them all down to the last detail. The reason I didn't pursue it before was because I didn't want Qinglu to get involved in the filth. It didn't mean I condoned your malice. Momo's face turned completely ash-white, yet she still wanted to craftily defend herself. But she was interrupted by a staff member who just ran over. Those who were previously bribed by her to help spread the rumors had all actively confessed. The whole truth has come to light. The ironclad evidence is right here, and all of her plots and schemes have been completely exposed. The persona she painstakingly built has completely collapsed. Her reputation is ruined, and the connections she once relied on have all dissolved. Because of her own selfishness and vicious calculations, she had to pay a miserable price, ending up deserted by friends and abandoned by family. An ending no one pities. I looked down at Qinglu in my arms. All right, the trouble has been completely resolved. No one can bother us anymore. Qinglu looked up at me. Shichen, from now on there won't be any more of these troublesome things. Right. Her eyes sparkled like stars. I solemnly replied, that's right, the rest of our lives will only be peaceful and fulfilling. A few days later, our wedding took place as scheduled. The wedding venue was overflowing with flowers, with warm sunshine covering the entire hall, both gentle and grand. Everyone who had ever treated us well, and those who truly wished us well, were all present. There were friends who always silently supported us and righteously lent a helping hand. There was gentle goodwill in the seniors, who had witnessed our journey. There were also those who had been helped by us, strangers carrying gratitude in their hearts. On everyone's faces there were bright, sincere smiles, and their eyes were filled with blessings. Dressed in a neat suit, I stood at the end of the flower aisle, my eyes bright as I silently waited for my bride. The moment Qinglu put on her pure white wedding dress and slowly walked toward me, my world was completely filled with gentleness. Everything became a background, and she was the only light. Step by step she advanced toward me, her eyes holding starlight and overflowing with love. I stepped forward and took her hand, my voice gentle yet firm. Before I went through the storms, alone, having seen through the malice of the world, and tasted all the hot and cold of humanity, I thought the rest of my life would only be quiet and lonely until I met you. It was you who taught me how to be gentle, who let me know what it means to care, who made me understand what it means to show favoritism, and what it means to be truly fulfilled. Today I take you as my wife. From this day forward, through the years and months, through every morning and evening, I will keep you safe and sound, stay gently by your side, and pamper you for the rest of my life, never leaving, never abandoning, and never letting you down. Qinglu's eyes turned red. For the rest of my life, I only wish to be with Shi Chen. The years spent together, a lifetime bond. Down, under the stage, applause thundered. The sounds of blessings rang out endlessly, warm and passionate. I raised my hand to put the ring on Qinglu, holding my bride tightly. The warm sunshine is gentle. A myriad of flowers bloom. The entire hall is filled with blessings, and all the good things in the world have found their way here. The storms have cleared. Everything is smooth sailing. And from now on, Qinglu and I will be together for life, with peaceful years and a lifetime of fulfillment.